It's so crazy too because I feel like I've been seeing a lot of girls that are in their 30s getting facelifts.
Oh
So
my
what do you think
God.
about that?
Oh my God. Don't do it. Can I be more clear? It is a
Yeah.
terrible idea to do such an early facelift. And girls who are doing that, either you're being misled by a very aggressive surgeon, and surgeons, you know who you are, or you are having some form of body dysmorphia where you see so much ugliness in everything about you that you think you need to be fixed.
Hmm.
And like that's a psychological thing. And any man, any woman, a surgeon who tells you to have a facelift when you're 30, I don't respect that.
This is the Dry Diaries with your author, Alex Dry.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your author, Alex Dry, and I am back with another entry of the Dry Diaries. Today, I have one of my favorites, Dr. K.
Hello, beauties.
We are going to be discussing all things aesthetics, fillers, facials, head, neck, you name
Botox,
it. You do it all.
Plastic
so.
surgery, all
Plastic
the things.
surgery.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited. So I've been actually going to Dr. K since 2017.
Wow. Now you're aging us.
A long time. I know, it's been forever.
Since you were like 15.
But she is honestly the only person I will trust with my face. Also, my mom literally flies from Texas to California. She will not let anybody touch her face either.
I love your mom and your sister.
They
the
love
whole
you.
Family, like Southern belles. So beautiful.
Yeah, they're obsessed. But my mom literally every Christmas, that's the gift that we give her is we will take you to Dr. K's.
The gift of beauty.
Yes, we are going to start out doing a little Dry Diaries deep dive.
Okay.
So it's just we get to know you, how you started in your career, what everything you're doing because she does so many things.
Mhm.
Can't even name them all. How did you get into aesthetics? Because you're a plastic surgeon. You do aesthetics filler and then head and neck.
Head and neck surgery.
Yeah. So
Well, so in med school, I chose to do facial plastics and head and neck surgery because that's the best anatomy of the body. It's the most complex. And I love interacting with the patient just like face to face. We don't have to get undressed. I can just focus on the number one thing that's their moneymaker, their beauty, their face, their confidence. So, and I love the artistry of doing faces because you can give two people the same paint box and they'll paint two entirely different pictures. So I feel like I have a really good understanding of a woman's and for men too, but for a woman's best features, what's really sensual, beautiful, and natural. And that's what my patients want.
Yeah, and you were saying that growing up you loved doing art.
Yes.
And sculptures and everything. So it's so cool how the two aligned.
It's a natural extension of like really enjoying using my hands a lot. So I sculpt, I do ceramics and pottery wheel, and then painting, oil painting. Those are kind of like my two things that I loved growing up and did a lot of that in college. And after college, then you hit med school and you can't do any more art. You have no more time. Then you have 4 kids and then you can't even read a book. Yeah.
I know. It's so crazy.
But then I come to work every day and I get to do beautiful art it's the artistry of faces. That's so exciting.
How do you balance it all? Because you do have 4 kids, then you also own your own practice. You also do surgeries on top of all the aesthetic stuff separately.
I do. It's so hard. And like, I think balance is just a myth. There is literally no balance in our lives. In general, like as moms and women, and there is no balance. Like your kids are number one priority, and then your husband, then your house, and you put yourself last. And then it leads to a lot of like late nights. And then I work really hard, but I'm the kind of person that when I get home at night, I still want some peace and quiet and like creative energy and just my own time. So I'll end up staying up like after the whole house is asleep, after like those hours from 11 to 2 in the morning. That's when I can finally just be like, oh, okay, I remember who I am, what I like to do, and like getting back into, me time. Otherwise, it's just like work, and then put on your second shift of mom clothes and work some more. And so I always need creative time.
Yeah. Whenever you get home, are you a big person? Once you're home, you shut off that work from 11 to 2. That's your you time?
So I try when I get home to compartmentalize, like work is work. As soon as you enter the house, it should just be about family and husband, the dog, the kids.
Yeah.
But it just keeps creeping in because, and I think social media in the beginning, I was very much like, got to answer every DM. I've got to like check the wording of every post. Got to make sure I look good.
Yeah.
And now I'm much more slack off now. Now I'm like, I'll go a whole 2 days without looking at Instagram or reading my DMs. I have people who will help me. And that's been such a relief because I think we all went through a period of time where we're just like inundated with, I've got to keep up. I've got to keep, it's like you're trying to earn gold stars for Instagram and it's just not worth it.
One of the ways that you really grew and became known was through social media.
Totally.
Was that through consistency of posting, or would you just say you found your little niche?
Yeah, I think I found my niche, and being in LA and surrounded by beautiful like celebrities, and a lot of my clients are celebrities. It just hit at the right time. Like, and I also have like good videos and interesting and beautiful results. So the timing was great. It hit the right niche, and it climbed very rapidly. Somehow, I met some of the top 10 TikTokers. That's how I met you.
Yeah.
And you were so fabulous. You really keyed me into like why social media is so important. And I remember I wanted to go visit TikTok headquarters.
That was right before COVID.
Yeah, but we ended up seeing like everyone, like Charlie D'Amelio, Maddie Monroe, and like a bunch of TikTokers with 50 million followers. And that was like a whole new world because they'd come in, they'd be these regular people wearing sweatshirts and hoodies and like just crazy how they blew up. All of those people blew up fast. So you ride the wave at the right time. Timing is everything in life.
Yeah. Who's your favorite celebrity that you've done work on that you can talk about?
That's such a taboo question because I
know it's so taboo, but
take the fifth on that one. Yeah, but if you go on our page, you will see videos from like people coming in getting facials and things that they don't mind, posting about. And they're always so kind to do it. So we've worked with like so many people that from acting and how all the housewives, the Beverly Hills Housewives.
I was just about to say, I just saw that you did Lisa Rinna.
Yeah, beautiful Lisa Rinna.
She's one of my favorites. I love her dancing videos.
She's iconic. And when you meet her in person, she's teeny tiny. And she's just an amazing powerhouse, so much energy.
Yeah, she's always dancing. And her husband's so funny, too. I just watched him on Watch What Happens Live.
Harry Hamlin, he's great. Yes. And then their 2 daughters are beautiful, too. So, like, so fun to meet people off the screen and see that they're real live humans. So, but we've done a lot of singers. I know we'd see Becky G and Ava Max, and people have come in and been on my actual podcast. So people we've interviewed.
I love Ava. She's so sweet. I've known her for years.
Have you?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
What's the biggest transformation that you've done? What do you specialize in the most?
So I only do faces. I don't do boobs and tummy tucks and all that, but I'll do, my most favorite surgery is rhinoplasty and eyelid surgery, blepharoplasty. I think those things are so artistic and I love doing those. I also do facelift, neck lift, ears, like ear pin back, the otoplasty, neck lipo, neck lift, chin implants, cheek implants, all the things. So anything face, head and neck. And also I started out, I trained at one of the top 5 programs in the country in head and neck surgery. This year it might even be the top 1.
Wow.
Yeah. UCLA head and neck surgery, give them a shout out. But that was very hard training. It was 6 years of my life. And we were doing these very long, complex reconstructive cases where people come in and their face is shattered from an accident, from, trauma, from cancer, and then rebuilding. And so like that is like truly where my skill set started, having those intense, long, deep surgeries. And then at the end of my training, I focused my last year on just aesthetics and plastics and doing more facelifts and that kind of thing.
I know. I think that's why you're so good at it too. Whenever I first went to her, I was so nervous and she just started injecting away so quickly. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But then obviously getting to know your background, it makes so much sense because you have neck and head.
The anatomy,
the anatomy side of it. So injecting is just a breeze to you compared to what you've done.
I think that's so true. And people out there that are trying to get their faces done, they assume that everyone has the same training. Like you can get filler here, you can get filler there. it's not like buying a Diet Coke. You can't just buy the same thing every single location. It's
Yeah.
really dependent on where did they train, how long have they been doing it, and do they know their anatomy? And mostly, sorry to tell you, mostly people don't know their anatomy very well.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous. Like you can get trained in a weekend 2-hour course
No
and
way.
then go and start a Botox clinic, go and start a
wow.
filler clinic after 2-hour training, literally.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And people get practiced on. Literally, you're getting practiced on if you haven't seen someone who's been doing it for a long, long time. So I like to say I place filler with surgical precision because it's one thing to just look at pictures in a book or do a skin, specialty that's all skin. You got to know what's under the skin, the depth, the plane, the, layers and attachments.
Of course, as you guys know, we love a good conspiracy theory on this podcast. And so
Yes.
this may be a conspiracy theory, but there are a lot of things that have come out where people have said, oh, I've had adverse effects from Botox, or Botox has caused me migraines or memory loss. So the way that you inject Botox, obviously knowing the anatomy part of it, that's never been an issue. Or what is your thoughts? Those different statements, because
I think
it's been around for so long.
It's been around for so long. So Botox has been around 20 something years, almost close to 24 years. And 100 million patients have been injected with Botox at this point.
Wow.
So that is a very safe product because obviously everybody's getting Botox and you would hear about it more if there were more problems. There's always going to be that one person who's ultra super sensitive to, whatever, like a preservative or a colorant or a dye or something. There are super sensitive people that can react, and it's a molecule that can go beyond the borders of where you place it. So you will see rare cases, and it's extremely rare. It'll be like a 1 in a million event, but it's like a lottery. Someone always wins the lottery. It's just never me. Luckily, it's not usually going to be you either.
Yeah.
So sadly, side effects can be extremely rare. Mostly they're related to bad injection technique, where you'll see people getting eyelid drooping or facial weakness in a weird way. And then thankfully, the molecule itself goes away in 90 days. So even if you have a bad adverse effect, it's usually gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with that said, there's always going to be someone who has some unusual neurologic sensitivity and can't handle it. And then that's just life. Some people have reactions.
They also say that Botox is really good for treating migraines.
It is. It's 95% effective. And I think people who are out there taking migraine pills and sprays and drugs, and you're just suffering through your migraines, you're crazy if you don't try Botox, because literally it works to the day. You can see 90 days of no headaches, and the day your Botox wears off, your migraines come back. But it is very, very effective. And I feel it's a lot safer than taking everyday pills and medications and strong drugs to suppress the migraine. Yeah.
So the eyelid surgery, the
blepharoplasty.
So that's become really popular.
It has. That's such a nice little tweak. Of all the surgeries, and of all the things you notice as you age, your very first thing you'll notice aging is your eyes. And that happens in your early 30s. Usually you'll start to see some changes. Your eyes are so active, they blink 20,000 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah. And your skin is like a piece of paper. The more it folds and blinks, it's going to get creping, little laxity. So as soon as you feel okay, I'm having to extend my eyeliner and I can't quite do my eyeliner right because I have a little hooded tissue there, it's a good time to start thinking of a blepharoplasty. I like to do that surgery earlier instead of later because you have young, springy tissue. You want to look beautiful now and enjoy these next 10 years of having vibrant, beautiful eyes. But a lot of people, they wait till they're 60 to get their bleph. And then I'm do you want to be glorious when you're 60? Or why not right now? And your tissues, when you're 60, they don't heal as well. They're not, the collagen is, that's just how you are. You heal slower when you get older.
It's so crazy too, because I feel I've been seeing a lot of girls that are in their 30s getting facelifts. So what do you think about that?
Oh my God. Don't do it. Can I be more clear? It is a terrible idea to do such an early facelift. And girls who are doing that, either you're being misled by a very aggressive surgeon, and surgeons, you know who you are, and then, or you are, having some form of body dysmorphia where you think that you see so much ugliness in everything about you that you think you need to be fixed. And like that's a psychological thing.
Yeah, some girls were saying it's because they were so overfilled over
Yeah.
time, so it caused sagging. But if
It's
you
not
get
really
filler and
true.
stuff properly,
Yeah, fillers do
then
not stretch and distort your skin. They create an increased water content, springiness to the skin, but there's the amount of volume in a 1 cc syringe is not going to dilate or stretch or enlarge the tissues. And skin has a lot of contractility and ability to spring back to its old self. Like think about your pregnant belly. It's like
Yeah,
a
so
basketball's
true.
in there, and like that skin stretches intensely and it does contract back in into, okay, with a basketball being in there, yeah, maybe you'll get a little stretch and you'll see moms who have a little bit of sag. But we're talking about 1 cc, which is a fifth of a teaspoon, which is a very small amount of dilate. You know, nothing's really going to change.
Yeah.
So unless you've done extreme overfilling, you don't need to think that your skin's going to stretch out. All of us have laxity. When we look down, we all see that little fold in our double chin on our cell phone. And we just have to learn to manage expectations. Like if you can't love yourself at 30, I'm sorry, but you're going to be a very sad person by the time you're 50.
Yeah.
It does not get better. You're in your very best state ever. And if you think it requires surgical intervention to be presentable in public, like that's the wrong thinking. And any man, any woman, a surgeon who tells you to have a facelift when you're 30, I don't respect that. I would never tell that to a daughter, a friend, or a family member, because your facelift is going to last. Do you know how long a good facelift lasts?
No, how long?
Like 10 years.
Yeah, I'm like all for facelifts. When I turned 60, Dr. K, give me a facelift.
Okay, do you know what's
But
the
now,
optimal time? What's the best age to get a facelift? People always ask me that too.
58.
Pretty damn close. Yeah, 55 to 65 is the best time to consider getting a facelift because you want to wait till you have more than a centimeter of skin that you can pull and stretch. And if you can only pull above, I want to say, if your problems are all above the mouth, you can get a mini lift at that age. If your problems include the mouth and below, like the jowl and then excessive skin, then you're going to need a facelift and a neck lift combination. And like, so I think if you're going to do a mini lift and there are people whose entire career and livelihood is their face and they get judged all the time and they really need to look their taut, firmest, best self.
Yeah.
Then, okay, you could do your mini lift like around 45. Okay. And then 10 years. Then you're 55, you get your full facelift neck lift. And don't consider doing the full Monty until you have a lot, like your neck bugs you so much that every day you're standing in the mirror and tightening your neck. When your neck bothers you, then you're ready. And if it's just your lower face, just your jowl bothers you, some people can get away with the mini lift.
Yeah.
But never do threads, by the way.
I've seen them, but I've never really looked into them too much.
Yeah. I mean, there are people who are really great at threads. Mostly they are the very aggressive people who do lots of threads and they do threads all day, every day. That's their one thing they do best. And also in Korea, they do lots of very aggressive threads. But mostly when you want to get long-term effect, a thread will last about 8 months.
Okay.
So it'll give you that little extra taut, firm pull back and a little bit of collagen production. But it's temporary.
Yeah. A few people actually asked about the PRP under the eyes instead of doing filler.
The PRP is very effective and good. Platelet-rich plasma. We draw your blood. We spin it in a centrifuge. We're going to decant off that nice yellow liquid that has all the platelet growth factors in it. So that has the ability to regenerate. It helps your skin heal from within. You grow your collagen. You get more youthful plumping back up. But it's very subtle. And it takes several sessions. So I tell people it's like fertilizing your garden. Like, is fertilizing your garden good? Yes, it's great. Is it going to make the garden amazing? Yes, but we'll do it every month and then it'll blossom in the spring, right? We'll do it all winter long. So 4 to 6 sessions. And then later things will start to slowly grow in. So it's not so easy because in today's day and age, everybody wants instant. And they don't have patience and they'll do like 1 or 2 and they won't come back for 4 to 6 like they're supposed to. And then each time you do PRP, you might get a little bruisey, a little swelly. So it's really for the girl who's super motivated to stay in the most autologous sense. They want to use only their own products to heal with it.
Yeah.
And I think there's a good market for that. I fully think that's amazing, but not everybody has the time to heal and do it again.
Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah. So for some people, we also use PRF. That's called platelet-rich fibrin. That's the thicker clotted version of PRP. It's like more of a jelly-ish material, and that works a little bit faster and better. And so I like all of those. I don't think they're precise. We're just watering and fertilizing the garden.
Yeah.
You just got to spray it everywhere, right? With filler, I can be super precise, very micro droplet technique hidden under the muscle, and it should last a long time. Can filler move or migrate? So it can, because we are rough with our faces. We sleep on them. As we said, we blink a lot.
Yeah.
Muscles thin out, and there can be little gaps in between the folds where sometimes things can creep out. So you have to keep in mind that filler sometimes needs adjusting, but it's super reliable and in good hands. Like in my hands, my patients do really well with that. Did that answer your questions? And then, well, better than that, some people say is fat transfer.
Okay.
You'll see lots of people doing nano fat under the eyes, and I think that's a great procedure to do, but fat also has to take root and grow, and not every seed grows in the garden. You sprinkle all the seeds, they don't always pop up.
And then you metabolize it. Depending on your metabolism, it may fade quicker.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So sometimes you may gain and lose weight in those areas where your fat transfer occurred. That can happen. And definitely if it's patchy or irregular growth, you might need several sessions, not just one. So it's good, but it has its ups and everything has its benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I love about going to you too, because she's always very honest about when I go to her, I'm like, okay, what do I need? What do you think? And she's very honest. You also do things in moderation.
Yeah.
You're very good at just tweaking and enhancing what you've been given instead of trying to change it completely.
Yeah. I'm a fan of maintaining your facial identity.
Yeah.
And individuality is hard to see. Like it was hard to see everybody get Instagram face at the beginning, and I think you know what I mean. Every
The
part
big
you
lips.
go to, yes, it's all the girls with the chiseled cheeks and jawlines and big lips, and like it was a look.
Yes.
And it still is a look. So people still think that's the status thing that they want to achieve,
Right.
and that's fine. Like everyone should have their own version of beauty, but I'm a little more about like a 90s girl aesthetic and like the supermodels of the 90s who were, or even the 80s supermodels who were naturally beautiful in the days of no filters, just camera film. No fillers, no filters, just camera.
Now it's just smooth on 100
Oh
for
my
everything.
God. Yes, exactly.
It's so funny. Okay, so next we're going to hop into Dear Dry Diaries. Basically what it is I have my followers submit questions, and it can either be anonymous or they can be known. Dear Dry Diaries, I'm at a crossroads in my career. I've been in the same company for 5 years now, and I'm not fulfilled. I've always had a passion for skincare, but never had enough time to pursue it. I want to leave to follow my passion in aesthetics and facial care, but I know it'll be financially challenging. Do you have any advice?
Wow.
This is perfect for you.
Yeah, actually, always. I mean, it sounds like you want to go into being maybe an esthetician, is what I'm reading from that question. Because if you love skincare and you want to work with patients and doing treatments, I would definitely go to esthetician school and just do what it takes to get there. You have to get all the knowledge and all the credentialing and certifications to be taken seriously in life. So I would just, invest the money or take out a line of credit, max out your credit cards, go to esthetician school and get your start with that. And then also I would go and volunteer to observe, like even in a plastic surgeon's office, shadow the esthetician, learn how to do all the basic things she's doing. And people who are really conscientious, when they're like that and they come work with me, I will definitely give them some teaching and even equip them to learn and do things under my supervision. So sometimes that's a great strategy. Like we've had estheticians start that don't even have their full training. They're starting their courses, but I'm teaching them how to do a peel, how to do a microneedling. And that's just because I see a really motivated, wonderful, like intelligent, great personality person who's like trying to make something of themselves. So a lot of people in life will give you that, cut you that slack.
Yeah. Did you have a mentor?
I did. I've had quite a few mentors in residency and surgery training. My mentor was one of my professors who was like me, a woman, like me. She had 4 kids. And I always
Wow.
thought, like, how on earth did she do it? And she was like always dressed so sophisticated and classy and elegant, lecturing, presenting. And I think that stayed in my head as like, if she could do it, I could do it.
Yeah.
You have to see yourself doing it. And then I've had a couple of really great men who've mentored me, also professors who've written textbooks, and just they've gone out of their way to give me research opportunities or my first big presentation on the stage. And like that is invaluable to find someone who will like give you your first break.
Have you written a book?
Not yet.
You should write a memoir.
Oh my God.
You should.
You should. The
You
Dry Diaries.
should.
There you go. The Dry
You
Diaries.
should.
Okay.
It'd be
I'll
so
work on mine.
interesting.
The Dr. K Diaries.
Yeah,
I could actually write a lot of fun, tell-all, great
Yeah.
stories. Yeah.
And then starting is like
all the hotel rooms and
skincare.
houses I've gone to in Beverly Hills with late night phone calls.
Oh
Can
my
you help me?
gosh.
And yes, so much fun.
But I would love to be a fly on the wall for some of those
Our
recoveries.
office is so crazy. We always talk about we should do a reality TV show
You
here.
should.
Yesterday, so freaking crazy. We saw a guy who's so handsome, looks like Wolverine, and we know his wife.
I know. I was gonna say set me up.
Actually, they're just probably. So I hope they stay together, but they're probably getting divorced. But we heard the whole story from her point of view, and then he came in the following 2-3 days later, and then he was like, "Don't believe a thing she said." And we
Oh
were
my
like,
gosh.
"What? We didn't hear a thing. She didn't talk about that. We were talking about travel."
Yeah, we don't know what you're talking about. We're just here to fix your face.
Meanwhile, Carmen and I, my nurse, we were off there like, "Oh my God, what do we do? What do we say?" It
You
was so
honestly
funny.
should. It'd be like a botched all woman.
I don't like
aesthetic.
botched. I think it has such a negative connotations and it shows such horrible, gross surgery results. I love how they fix the person, but I just don't like that it makes plastic surgery into that. And it's actually so much more uplifting what we do. And we put a woman comes in, she sits in our chair, she feels run down, not happy, doesn't like her face right now and doesn't like who she is right now. And we just like build her up. It's such a lot of girl power here. And we're
Yeah.
like, you're beautiful. You don't need that guy. Kick him to the curb. And like give her all the tools and a little bit of tox. And like it's not even about the tox and the filler. It's more like we re-energized her and made her know who she is. So I love that.
Even like the facial care. You guys do facials here.
Yes,
You do
esthetician
peels.
treatments. We're doing now the salmon sperm facial. That's all the
Oh.
rage.
Yes.
Yeah, have you heard of that?
I have. I'm actually allergic to fish.
Oh,
so
then
I
I don't want
think-
to do it
Yeah.
for you.
But it looks amazing, the results.
Yeah, it's actually DNA nucleotides. And why do we call it salmon sperm facial? Because no one knows what a nucleotide is. And it's like molecular biology. So, but those are repair molecules that are going to go in and help with any aging cell, any cell that's deteriorating or damaged, and just give it the building blocks to rebuild at the DNA level. So cool.
Is it actually from salmon?
It's derived from salmon.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
cool. I'm still stuck on this reality show thing.
Oh my God, we should
You
do
guys
it.
need
We
to
should
do it.
I thought about doing like a YouTube channel, which was just like
Yeah.
every day filming crazy antics at the office. Because sometimes it's staff drama, and sometimes Dr. K is going crazy, and and mostly it's just our patients are very cool and very interesting.
Yeah, I know. I feel like you guys always have somebody
Yeah,
in and out every time I'm here.
yeah.
So it's so fun.
It's a fun environment.
Okay. Dear Dry Diaries, I'm 19 and thinking about getting a nose job. I'm feeling more confident about it, but everyone keeps warning me about the risk and complications. What's your advice?
Like 19 is a great age to think about this. And like, I think if you're uncertain, you can always try a liquid rhinoplasty, which is a non-surgical. We place some gel. It brings the tip up. It refines the dorsum. I have results that are like as good or better than my surgery cases. But surgery is necessary if there are features that are too large. Like it's very difficult to hide a large bulbous tip of the nose. And so it can be very safe. You do have to find someone who's been operating for a while. I would love you to look at their whole, kind of their portfolio, their credentialing, and how do you feel when you talk to them? Because honestly, people can draw you a picture or show you like a Facetune of what you might look like I'm going to do this and that on the computer screen. But in reality, when it finally boils down to surgery day, you go in there and that person can do whatever they have in their mind's eye to artistically do. So you have to trust the artist. So you have to have a good feeling about the person, the confidence, it's all about that, really.
What's the recovery like?
It's a week of swelling and bruising with a cast,
Okay.
and sometimes you'll get the black eyes, and not everybody gets that, but most people do. And then I'd say and by 3 weeks, 80% of your swelling is gone. So your cast comes off at 1 week. We sometimes tape it for a few more days. You can be restaurant ready at like 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but 6 months for all the swelling to come out of the nose. It really takes a long time for the final slimming, and even up to a year for it to be really settled and nice.
Yeah, I really tousled with the fact going back and forth of getting one.
I think
Yeah.
rhinoplasty is one of those surgeries where 80% of the time you're great with your first run, and 20% of people, they may need a little secondary touch-up surgery. And even if it looks perfect like we finished on the operating room table, it looks perfect. People heal differently. Like
Yeah.
sometimes when I finish, I'm happy with it, but perhaps they get inflammation or they get scarring or contracting or healing issues, and it changes how everything lays. So sometimes you have to be prepared for a little revision touch-up.
Yeah. So it sounds like 19's a decent age to start thinking
Yeah,
about it.
it's
It's not too
fine.
young.
Not too young. We wait for the nose to finish growing completely, which mostly in women is done by 18. Some people, if you're not your mom's size, wait till you're about your size of your mom. By 18 to 21 is the case. But a lot of people get, 13-year-olds get
Wow.
rhinoplasties all the time in LA for their bat mitzvahs and stuff.
Dear Dry Diaries, have you ever had any cosmetic work done yourself?
Myself or yourself? Yeah.
I mean,
I'll go first. What have I had done? So I had twins and 4 kids. So I had a little tummy tuck. And that was great because it got rid of all the twin skin. And just have done fillers. Actually, I haven't done anything surgical on my face, just cheek contouring, a little bit of jawline. Long time ago, I did my under eyes. That's needs to be retouched probably, and Botox regularly since age 28. And so I just haven't gotten a lot of lines.
Yeah.
And then I'll do a peel every season. So winter, spring, summer, fall, I'll do a peel. And now I'm doing micro needling probably every month, almost every month, because I'm a huge fan of micro needling.
Really?
Yeah, it
I need to
induces
try it.
collagen induction. You should totally do it. We don't have to use a salmon sperm, but we can do PRP, like the vampire treatment where we draw your blood and we needle it in. You love it.
I've been doing the BBL on my face, the broadband,
laser.
right? And they haven't had to numb me. Super easy. And I've loved the results.
Awesome.
Yeah,
your
it's
skin
been
looks
great.
good.
I mean, it's really dry right now. But as far as work, body, I had my boobs done, and then filler, Botox, everything done by Dr. K.
You can't even tell.
Yeah,
I have to look carefully, be like, what did I do again?
Yeah,
Did your pretty lips.
It's really minimal, and it's been over time. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's lasted actually.
But everything she's done has been very natural, and I've been super happy with the results.
So cute.
So,
I think this is a good time for you to start doing collagen stimulators. So things like Sculptra or the hyperdilute radius that grows your own natural collagen.
Yeah.
Just for maintenance, so you stay firm and taut and toned. I would love everybody to start that in their 30s, mid 30s. Because you grow collagen so well at this age. Like if you wait till you see problems in your 50s, it just takes longer to see results. You grow collagen much slower. So why not build the firm foundation now?
Yeah.
So I think microneedling grows your own natural collagen on the outside, and it helps with pigment, pores, and tightening effect and fine lines. And then the collagen stimulators, there's shots that we do all throughout the face in the areas where you're aging and predict that you will age in the future. So it's like future protection.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
We didn't touch on lips because I feel like that's one of your big things that you're known for.
Yes.
So as far as lips goes, if someone's interested in getting their lips done and they come to you with an Instagram photo of someone's lips that I like huge, right? Do you give them the photo that they're wanting, or do you do...
We will point out. I love it when you bring an inspo photo, because then it really guides me to your style and your aesthetic. And are we going for vampy and voluptuous? Are we going for super subtle? So I love that. But we will, almost every lip on Instagram these days has 2 syringes. And everyone brings me these ginormous lips and like, this is really natural. Can you do that? And I'm like, that is 2 syringes and it's not that natural. But so we'll start with 1 syringe because I think you're not used to what it looks like. And then you can do a 2nd syringe as early as a month later. But most people are fairly happy with 1 syringe. Each syringe gives you 20% volume improvement of the lips overall. And that way you put a quarter in each quadrant, everything looks really balanced. And you can come back later and plump it up even more if you want to.
Yeah, I feel like duck lips are out. The
Totally.
big filled lips. I think it had its moment, and that moment has come and gone.
It's
more
true.
than natural.
I think there was such a trend for people to dissolve all their filler and start fresh. Did you see that in your influencer friends?
Yeah,
I did too. And I don't like how people did that because they put 4 and 5 bottles of dissolver all through their face. And honestly, it makes your face like the dry desert. It just depletes it. And it makes it really hard to replace the water content in the skin later because it's like nuclear. It just takes it all the air out of the balloon, and we don't want that. So I'm a fan of adjusting your filler down a little, but you don't need to ablate it. And remove every single drop of it. And you'll have nurse injectors out there telling you, dissolve your whole face, start over. Or you'll have your friends telling you that. I'm like, don't listen to them. Don't listen. Just take it down a little. If you have migration, you can take it down. If you have lumps and nodules, yes. Yeah.
How do you know if you have migration?
Well, oftentimes we see that around the lips or the eyes. Those are the 2 most common areas. And it's either you see like a white border or a shelving above the lip. You might see a funny shadow, or in certain pictures, like highlight an unusual thickness there. We should just not see that in the skin portion of the lip, only in the pink of the lip. So sometimes people get it on the inside of the lips too, where we'll see lumps and nodules. It's fairly, we know, and then we'll point it out to you.
Yeah. Some lips I can see.
You can tell. You
Yeah.
can tell. And sometimes a little shelf doesn't look too bad. It looks a little pouty, but we don't want it to get extreme to where you have a filler mustache.
Yeah. I've had 3 people come up to me and be like, you have the best lips. Who does them?
Yay.
I'm like, it's honestly been forever, but Dr. K did them.
Yeah.
Like 2
they
years
look
ago.
So good.
And, well, that was all the Dear Dry Diaries questions that we have time to answer. Dr. K is a busy woman. She has appointments lined up, and she took the time to come on here in between. So we're so thankful. And can you tell everyone where to find you, how to book an appointment?
Yes, you can find me on the gram. It's Beauty by Dr. K, DRKAY, and our website is the same. It's beautybydrk.com. You can book with me there. Come see us if you're in LA. I'm in Pasadena, right by downtown in the Rose Bowl, and I also have a Beverly Hills location.
You do?
I do, on Rodeo.
I didn't know that.
I got to cross the 405. So there's certain VIPs and stars that can't cross the 405. I go see them there. Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to another entry of the Dry Diaries. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye, beauties.